Everyone knows that work is lame, even if you're an actor. Sometimes all the fame and money that come with a big role don't seem to be worth enduring a cruel director or a miserable film set. We've already spotlighted a few times where one scene nearly caused an actor to walk away, but it's apparently a lot more common than you think. We explored some maddening moments that drove our actors crazy in our earlier video, scenes that almost caused the actors to quit. Well, now we're back with more scenes that almost pushed actors right over the edge. Daisy Ridley in Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Starring in one of the most anticipated movies of the century is an opportunity most actors would kill for, but the pressure of filming 2015 Star Wars: The Force Awakens nearly proved too much for Daisy Ridley. The British newcomer didn't have much experience before J.J. Abrams cast her as Rey, and Screen Rant reports that she almost quit on the first day when he told her that her performance during a desert scene felt wooden. That note, along with bearing the weight of the biggest franchise in movie history, almost prompted Ridley to get on a starship to anywhere far, far away. Shelley Duvall in The Shining. Shelley Duvall set a Guinness World Record for her portrayal of Wendy in Stanley Kubrick's 1980 horror classic The Shining, but it's not a record anyone would want. The perfectionist Kubrick insisted on 127 takes of a scene where Duvall's hysterical character uses a bat to fend off a deranged Jack Nicholson. By the end, she was so exhausted and dehydrated from crying that she nearly quit. She didn't, but the stress of filming the scene was bad enough that she reportedly began losing her hair. Zoe Saldana, Pirates of the Caribbean. Before she landed leading roles in huge blockbusters like Avatar and Guardians of the Galaxy, Zoe Saldana was just another struggling actress getting by on bit parts. She had a small one as Anna Maria in 2003's Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl, and she said she was treated so badly that she nearly quit, telling The Hollywood Reporter, "It was very elitist. People disrespecting me because they look at my number on a call sheet and they think that I'm not important." It was so demoralizing, Saldana said she even considered quitting acting altogether.
Anna Maria.
I suppose you didn't deserve that one either.
No, that one I deserve.
Mike Myers in Wayne's World. Mike Myers created the character of Wayne Campbell on Saturday Night Live, and the recurring sketch became so popular that Paramount wanted a Wayne's World movie. Myers wrote the screenplay, and he was especially excited about the scene where Wayne and the boys pack into the Mirthmobile and headbang to Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. But the studio wanted to replace the song with something fresher and cheaper to license. Myers thought the Queen song was crucial, as he revealed it on WTF with Mark Maron.
And at one point I said to everybody, well, I'm out. I don't want to make this movie. It's not Bohemian Rhapsody. And they were like, who the f*** are you?
Yeah.
I said, I'm somebody that wants to do that movie. That's the movie I want to do.
Both Myers and Bohemian Rhapsody stayed. Gene Hackman in The French Connection. Gene Hackman won an Oscar for his turn as New York City police detective Jimmy Popeye Doyle in 1971's The French Connection. But it almost didn't happen. A notoriously difficult actor, he often clashed with director William Friedkin, especially after Friedkin revealed that Paul Newman was his first choice for the part. Things came to a head in a scene where Hackman, dressed in a Santa Claus costume, tackles a criminal on the street. Friedkin demanded 27 takes, and Hackman nearly quit. Fortunately, he stayed and even mentioned it in his speech at the Academy Awards. John Cena in 12 Rounds. Few wrestling stars are bigger than John Cena, so when WWE produced the direct-to-video cop thriller 12 Rounds in 2009, casting him as the lead was a no-brainer. Although his day job is to battle hulking beasts in the ring, Cena apparently isn't fearless. One scene called for his character to rappel down a skyscraper and dangle midair from a rope, but Cena revealed later that his severe fear of heights triggered intense anxiety, and he considered walking away before he even got up there. Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio in The Abyss. The dark, claustrophobic sets and constantly gushing water made for some difficult days on the set of James Cameron's 1989 sci-fi flick, The Abyss. But one day in particular stands out for Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. For a scene in which her character's estranged husband administers her CPR, Cameron asked co-star Ed Harris to frantically slap Mastrantonio as she lay motionless on the cold, wet floor. Then the camera ran out of film, and enough was enough.
And she heard that and she just like freaked. She just said, hey man, we are not animals. I don't know what you're doing here, but we are not animals.
After leaving the set, she eventually calmed down and returned. Carl Weathers in Rocky IV. A big part of the fourth Rocky movie involves Rocky's mentor Apollo Creed staging a comeback. Played by former NFL linebacker Carl Weathers, Creed gets roughed up in the ring pretty bad by communist pugilist Ivan Drago, played by Dolph Lundgren. But one of the boxing scenes got a little too real when Lundgren threw Weathers into a corner, causing Weathers to break character and throw a real punch. Lundgren responded in kind, knocking Weathers out. When he regained consciousness, he quit the movie and sent production into limbo for 4 days. That's when Sylvester Stallone finally convinced Weathers to return. Tippi Hedren in The Birds. Alfred Hitchcock had a reputation for being unkind to actresses, but Tippi Hedren signed on to 1963's The Birds under the guarantee that she'd only be attacked with mechanical birds during the film's climactic scene. But Hitchcock is the king of twists, and he wanted Hedren's terror to feel real, so he instructed crew members to throw real, live birds at her. This real-life game of Angry Birds went on for 5 full days, and Hedren had a breakdown when it was over. She only finished the movie when a doctor ordered Hitchcock to give her a week off to recover. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more videos like the one you just saw, and leave us a comment to let us know which scene would have made you quit.